This is a demonstration playthrough of the Proteomics task in DiscoveryWorld, which is one of the shortest and most straightforward discovery tasks available in this benchmark. Okay, so let's select Proteomics on the normal difficulty in the first parametric task variation. So we're given a task description here. You're in a biological preserve on planet X that has 5 different animal species. We suspect that one of these animal species is not native to the area, but migrated from an isolated island in the recent past. Your task is to use proteomics, or rather the proteomics meter, to analyze the proteins of each of the 5 different animal species, which can be found throughout the environment away from the central statue area, and determine which of the species is the anomaly. So we're looking for anomalies here. Once you have completed your task, return to the statue area and drop the red flag directly beside the statue of the animal species that's the anomaly. So the way that we tell the simulation what animal we think is the anomaly is by taking a red flag and putting it beside the statue when we've made a decision. You're strongly encouraged to use external tools like notebooks, spreadsheets, statistics, and so on to help you solve the task, as making these discoveries will require methodologically exploring different hypotheses. Once the task is completed, the game will automatically end. And while playing, we can ask for help by pressing the question mark or F1 key, or we can press Tab to display this message again. Press space to close this message. Okay, so we find ourselves in DiscoveryWorld, and we're this character here in the center. We see these sort of 5 statues in the world that we can use to select which of the 5 animals is the anomaly. I see one of the animals up here. This one says it's called a prismatic beast. There's another one up here called an echo jelly, and then I see one down in the lower right-hand corner as well. So the task says we have to use the proteomics meter to analyze the proteins of each of the 5 animal species. So let's find the proteomics meter, and we can start wandering around and seeing what we can find and collecting some data. So we'll grab the proteomics meter and we'll start collecting some data here. So this flower-like creature, the anima plant, let's measure that with our proteomics meter. Okay, so this says you use the proteomics meter to investigate the anima plant, and the results are as follows, and it gives us the values of 2 proteins. So what I'd like to do here is I'd like to make a spreadsheet and have the first column as the animal, and that's going to be here, and the first entry is going to be anima plant. And the other columns are going to be protein A and protein B. And it looks like this kind of plant creature has 0.62 for protein A and 0.71 for protein B. Okay, there we have it. Okay, so let's continue on here. Oh, there's another thing that looks like an anima plant down here. Let's check it out. It has 0.62 and 0.71. Those are identical values to what we already have for our anima plant. So maybe it's the same with an organism. Here's another creature that's wandering around. This one is called a spheroid. Let's measure this creature's protein values. Okay, spheroid. And on protein A it has a value of 0.21. And on protein B it has a value of 0.73. Okay, pretty close values on protein B, pretty different values on protein A, if that's important. Let's continue looking. We could also try and use the protein meter on other organisms here, like on this tree. We're using the proteomics meter to investigate the tree trunk, but the results are inconclusive. Okay, maybe it works also on these other plants in the environment. No, it's not giving us any further information. Looks like it's mainly for animals. Here we've encountered an echo jelly. It gives us these protein values. Echo jelly 0.70 for protein A and 0.75 for protein B. Alright, let's go over to try this sort of blue creature here. It's moving a lot. There we go, the prismatic beast. Prismatic beast. This one has a pretty regular value here, but a low value compared to the others over here on protein B. Alright, and it said 5 animals, right? And we have 4. Let's see if we can find the last one. I think we already did this one, but let's just double check. Echo jelly, 0.70 and 0.75. Yeah, we have that one. So it does look like the values are probably the same within species. And then we have here a vortis squid. Okay, it's giving us values in the 60s. Vortis squid, 0.61 and 0.65. Okay. And then that one's probably the same too, right? For this one, it's moving 0.61 and 0.65. Yeah, that's the same. Okay, so we'll just assume that the rest of them are the same within species. Okay, and so let's wander around to see if there's anything else. No, just looks like more of the same animals. Okay, so here's our flag and our 5 creatures in statue form here. And we need to plant the flag beside the one that's the anomaly, because we think it's migrated from an isolated island in the recent past. So if it's from an isolated island, then it might have developed differently or evolved differently and have different concentrations of proteins. So let's come over here and look at our distribution here. So we have some data. These sort of all cluster around 70s. There's a couple of outliers, particularly down here a 50 and a 60. We have protein A. They're a little bit more all over the place. I guess 60s and 70s. And then we have this outlier here that's in the 20s. So let's see if we can plot this data. Let's insert chart. And we probably want it to be a scatter plot. Those are our series. Those are our data. That's our data range. Okay, and let's see how this looks. Okay, so when we plot this, what we do find is that there's a bunch that are clustered all into one group. And then there's this other outlier, the one with 0.2 on protein A, which is the spheroid here. And so if these are all clustered together, then this would suggest that this is our anomaly here, that the spheroid is our anomaly. So let's go under that hypothesis and then have a look here. So the spheroid is the pink-looking one over here, and the statue for that one is up here, I think. Yes, statue of spheroid. Okay, so let's come down and we'll pick up the red flag and we'll come place it over here. It says once you've completed your task, return to the statue and drop the red flag directly beside the statue of the animal species that is the anomaly. So we're right beside the spheroid statue. We'll drop it and it says congratulations, you've completed the task successfully. And so congratulations, we've successfully solved an instance of the proteomics task, which is one of the quickest and most straightforward tasks in DiscoveryWorld. In this case, we've solved it on normal difficulty, and we played the first parametric variation of this task, where other difficulties and parametric variations generate different data and solutions.